Well, it's safe to say that we're tired of COVID. It has completely changed our lifestyles and interactions with other people. Who would have known such a microscopic organism could wreak so much havoc throughout the world? But what if I told you that there was a solution? What if I told you that there is one thing and one thing only that can return us all to normal life? Stick around to the end of the video to find out what the real answer to the pandemic is. If you enjoy this type of content, please be sure to subscribe. Let's try and hit 30 subscribers before my next upload. Also, don't forget to leave a like. We are shooting for 20 likes on this video again. We didn't quite hit it last time, so let's see if we can get there now. Without further ado, let's get into the video. A little context is needed in order to get to the answer. How did other pandemics end? Well, the 1918 flu pandemic was very similar to the COVID-19 pandemic, and some experts say it was worse with over 50 million deaths worldwide. It was so scary because unlike COVID, it had a high mortality rate in people with strong and young immune systems. However, even this came to an end. But how? One must remember that this pandemic ended without the use of vaccines because of the fact that vaccines weren't licensed or widely spread back then. They were not viewed as viable options to fight the disease. But the pandemic still ended. Well, the morbid answer is that everyone who had the virus died. Therefore, the virus didn't spread anymore. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Some of the people developed immunity to the virus. Well, let's take a look at how the swine flu pandemic ended. It didn't kill as many people, with estimates around 150,000 deaths worldwide, but was still somewhat significant. It ended according to scientists due to the fact that people developed immunity to it. I hope you see where I'm getting at. The answer lies within the word immunity, specifically the words herd immunity. This has been the key that has ended all pandemics in the past. You may have heard about it before, as it is very popular within the scientific community. It is essentially the only way to end the pandemic. Herd immunity is when a certain proportion of the population is immune to a certain disease, preventing spread of that said disease. These pictures will make more sense. In order to spread the disease, a certain proportion of the people in the population need to be infected or capable of being infected by the virus. This is called the threshold proportion. Herd immunity is only achieved when the proportion of the people that are immune is more than the threshold proportion. The reason why herd immunity works can be demonstrated by this animation. Once the virus enters an immune person's body, it is killed, and therefore it cannot spread any further, stopping the virus from infecting a chain reaction of people. There are two ways for a population to achieve herd immunity. One way is through vaccination, which would be most ideal. Vaccines create immunity without causing illness or resulting problems, and they can be mass-produced, so many people can be immune at a time, achieving herd immunity faster. They can also help protect those who are not vaccinated because of the herd immunity that is created. Past successes resulting from vaccinations and herd immunity include smallpox, polio, diphtheria, rubella, and many others. However, a major drawback of this method is that no one knows how long COVID antibodies and therefore immunity lasts after infection. The frequency of vaccination depends on how long the antibodies and immunity last, and sometimes people don't take the necessary frequency of vaccines in order to protect themselves. This will pose as a major difficulty as we continue our fight. The other option is to wait for natural infection to cause herd immunity. This is very dangerous, as it is estimated that 70% of the population needs to be immune in order for herd immunity to take place. That's over 200 million people out of the 300 million people that live in the United States. This could come at the cost of death as well, and it may not even work because of the fact that no one knows how long the antibodies last after infection. There are complications in each way of achieving it, but the answer to this crisis lays fundamentally in the hands of herd immunity. If this can somehow be achieved anytime soon, best believe life is back to normal.